Hello everybody and welcome on today's video. As you see, there's nothing on the table today. I plan to work on a Carpinus fusion project, so we'll have to get it outside because it's raining. I'm planning to do the work here, but we need to get the tree outside, so let's go. So this is the tree. As you might see, it's well, quite a lot of trees. It's 6 trees, I think, that I fused together, and well, yeah, they're not really fused yet, but I think I need to make some adjustments and well, tie a few of these trees better together and have a look at the root base, and then, well, have to cut some branches. But as you see, the buds are starting to swell, so it's a good moment to do that. And on the other hand, I need the space in this huge pot because I want to put another tree there that needs some time to recover. So this thing is well, not really established here, but it's gonna take a few minutes to get it out, which is of course not very interesting, but it has to be done, otherwise I cannot work on this. So this is the thing, and well, it's quite big and it's quite ugly at this point. So yeah, well, let's have a look at the root base and see what we can do. Okay, so as you probably see, the buds are swelling, so this thing is, well, quite healthy. It's been held together by a few of these plastic strips, but yeah, why do I do this? Well, these are a few Carpinus trees that I really don't know what to do with them, because, well, they don't look good, especially at the root base. They have roots just on one side, so I said, okay, let's just put the roots to the outer side, and then put these trees together. So I need to see what I have here, and I'm gonna clean this up a little. Probably going to need a brush. So this is a thick root, and it's going in a good direction now. So I'm going to clean this up until we have a better view on the root base. This is not really good. That's why I need to get this out of the pot to see what I'm doing. I have some branches in the camera. Okay, I'm gonna clean this up and I'll be back in a few seconds. So here we have it, washed and clean. As you see, we have a few big roots here, and these are of course the roots we want to keep. Maybe I have to redo this thing and put these rings at a different height. Here we have another little problem. I think that these two are almost fusing now, and honestly I'd like to have this thick root more in this position, so I'll have to address that. Here the roots seem quite okay. This one is already a little high, but it's probably a new root because the tree was in the soil up to here. So these roots I can of course get rid of, but I think I'll have to redo the whole thing now because the trees did not fuse yet. But yeah, I'll have to try to position the roots better and then tie it all together again. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I don't want to lose the overall position of this tree. So these trees, and I think I'm going to wrap some rubber around it to keep it a little bit in position. So that the trees don't move too much while I'm working on it. Okay, so this should hold it together a little without being too difficult to remove afterwards. Okay. Yeah. So it's all about the roots. That's a fact. I want nice roots. So I think this is already a nice root spread. This has to come off. Well, let's just do it. So this root is not needed. Okay. So this is okay. I like to have the roots on the same height. So maybe this tree should come down just a little, or I must try to put these roots together and hope that they will fuse and become one big root. This is a little bit of a chaos tree. It's supposed to become not a very well, it's a bit like the old ancient trees, you know. So maybe I'll just get a little wire, try to arrange these roots here so that they come at the good height. So yeah, I'm gonna take a piece of wire. So this is copper. I'm gonna try to anchor this here. And try to get all these roots together. Make a bundle of them. Like so. I hope you can see this is not easy to do this, and consider the filming of this. Of course, these roots are crossing a little, which is not ideal. But when they fuse, it will become less visible. But anyway, I'm trying to get them as nicely together as possible. Just pushing them where I want them. I think this is okay. I'll give you a close-up. So okay, I think this is going to be more than sufficient. I'll just zoom in Okay, so what do we have here? The roots are at this height, and therefore I want to push these ones a little down, and I'll make the I think that the wire is not anchored well enough. And therefore it's not staying in position, so I think this is better. Yes, this is a whole lot better. Now the roots will stay where they are supposed to stay. Okay, so now I have these roots at the same height. This might just have to come up a little, but I'm not too sure about that because I have a nice little root here. And maybe this one has to get a little shorter so that this one can take over. So I'm gonna get rid of this piece. And then we have the big problem here. I'll reposition the camera. So this might be the tricky part. This root now is doing quite okay. Maybe I can even wire it to this root a little more so that I'm sure that it stays where I want it to stay. And then we have nothing here. But if I can turn this in this direction, it would be great. And the other problem is that these three roots here are really at the same spot, and this one is not radial, so that's not good. So it would be nice if I could get this root somewhere here. Now see, there's some leaves bumping into the camera, so I have to push this root here. Okay, so I have a piece of bamboo here, and I'm going to put it between these two roots, and it should work. If it breaks, it breaks, but this looks not too bad. I think that I will need a piece of bamboo that thick, so I'm gonna cut it. A little one. So I'm going to put it here. This root can come on top. I think that if I can put it, yeah, I'm gonna cut it here. Okay, let's try this. It's still a little long, I think. Well, again, this is the day where you think that you should have a hand extra. Maybe just too long yet. Still, oh boy. Not easy. but I think it's okay. Now let's have a look. If this root stays there, it's gonna be great. Another possibility, of course, is trying to get these two together, which might be interesting, but this root is better. Well, I think it's quite okay. Still, I don't think that this is completely the way I'd like it to be. This is good, this is not completely good. There should be a little root here. Maybe like so. Yeah, well, this I like. And maybe I'm going to try to put this one here by just putting a little piece of bamboo there. Just a little one. Okay. So for the rest of the root base, I don't think this is too bad. This is a little high, so get rid of that. And I think this root base is cool now. Okay. Changed my mind. I don't think that this bundle is good enough. I think I'm going to take this bundle and lead it to this roots so that it stays a little lower, and include this root so that it will fuse, and this piece gets on my nerves. Okay. So I'm gonna redo this and include the root under it in the bundle. So this is the result. Might look a little strange, but the thinking behind it is that, well, now I have roots at the same height here. You see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 roots here that are going to swell, get thick, and they are going to close this gap. I'm going to push these ones a little under the other, and they are supposed to do the same, get bigger and close gaps. That's basically the whole idea of fusion things. It's closing gaps and filling up holes. But now I have a very nice root base, I think. And it's already quite a big trunk at the base. So I'm going to do a root prune now, just getting everything off, and put this in a deep pot. And then of course I will have to address the upper part. So for the root pruning, it's not going to be something special. It's just going to be well, removing the very long stuff and combing out what we have in order to make it fit in the pot. I'm going to use a deep pot. Okay, well, let's just quit here for the root pruning.